Thank you for braving the bad weather to join us in celebrating the start of something special. Shh. Shh. I'm both proud and humbled to be here with my partners, Victor McFarland and Kevin Plank. Our partnership is full of possibilities, and today is an early example of what we hope to do together for the city of Baltimore. Encouraged and led by the great real estate magic maker, Jody Clark, Victor and I joined this project because we are civic placemakers, investing in cities because we believe in them. To us, there is no better place to ply our craft than here at Baltimore Peninsula. A purpose-driven community powered by diversity and dedicated to creating opportunity for all. Over the last 6 months, our team has been working intensely to establish momentum and drive progress. We're thrilled to have had some early successes with the addition of Chambers, a storied design firm with a 123-year history in Baltimore. This is our first lease, and tonight we're standing in its future home. We hope to be announcing a few major leases soon, early next year. And we'll launch the first residences that people can call home. Rye House and 250 Mission, where 20% of the units are of those homes of affordable to low-income residents of Baltimore City. This is just the beginning of our commitment to providing safe and affordable homes, which are critical and in demand in this city. With buildings rising around us on the brink of opening, we have our sights set on the future, launching new buildings, signing more leases, and continuing to build momentum for the city. The work is mighty, and we are exhilarated by the challenge. Our new name, Baltimore Peninsula, is a brand that reflects the transition from a place on a map to a place where people will live, work, and have fun. Tonight, Baltimore Peninsula officially welcomes the curious, the committed, and the conscientious to join us in creating a bigger, better, bolder way of thinking about equitable placemaking. Victor?
Yeah, I can't tell you how excited I am to be here to celebrate the rebranding of our project and the progress we have made over the last 6 months. It is a tribute to all of our partners, direct and indirect, that Mary Ann mentioned earlier, and my partner, Mary Ann Gilmartin, who leads our partnership day-to-day's execution. She is an extraordinarily talented dynamo and a great partner. Please give her a round of applause. Beyond the great real estate we are creating, Baltimore Peninsula stands for its commitment to Baltimore and its surrounding communities. This commitment is an integral part of all that we do. More than $132 million in contracts have been awarded to Baltimore City certified MBE, WBE firms. And we want to recognize Weller Development for their commitment to getting this off the ground and their success in executing on this program. And despite our success, we're not stopping there. We have launched a supplier diversity platform called Sweeten. Jean Brownhill, who is in our audience standing back there, nice tall black woman, to bring unparalleled level of transparency, innovation, and inclusiveness to local minority and women-owned businesses to participate in Baltimore's development projects. We have invested in this model and believe it can be replicated nationally. We've also launched a new partnership with Project Jump Street, a workforce development and job placement program to implement a 15-week construction training program that will ultimately support the development of Baltimore Peninsula and the career development of our residents. Baltimore Peninsula represents a new model for urban development, a purpose-driven impact community powered by diversity and committed to creating opportunities for all. It is a neighborhood of passionate people, dedicated local businesses, beautiful mixed income residences, waterfront events and activities, new restaurants, and spots to socialize that strengthen our spirit, a place that is welcoming to all. In our minds, all of this encapsulates what we want this project to be, a true partnership between the city and the community who will reap the benefits of what we create here, and together we are building a space for Baltimoreans to live, enjoy, and utilize in a safe and healthy way. We are writing a new story here, one that resonates and creates possibilities, not just for South Baltimore, but for the whole city. We are excited about what we've accomplished to date, but realize there is much yet to be done. But we are not daunted by those tasks we face ahead, and when we celebrate Baltimore Peninsula's success for the city and its investors, it will be a true success for everyone. To that end, Mary Ann and I are proud to introduce you to all of our partners in government, without whom none of this would be possible. I will ask Mayor Braden Scott to say a few words and to welcome the other elected officials. He has been steadfast in his support for the project and what it can bring to Baltimore. Please welcome me in welcoming Mayor Scott.
Thank you. Thank you, Victor. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. We are at the Baltimore Peninsula. We can do better than that. Good evening, everyone. I am so excited to be here today. I first want to thank all the folks who have committed to making this wonderful vision a reality, starting with my good friend Kevin Plank and Sagamore Ventures. For those of you who wondered, me and Kevin have the same shoes on tonight, different colors though. Goldman Sachs Urban Investment Group, our great partners at MAG Partners, Marianne, thank you so much for all that you do. Baltimore's own Mark Brody, Victor, and the entire team at McFarland Partners, and of course my fellow elected leaders, past and present. We have with us the Council President Mosby, who you'll hear from in a second, Councilman Costello. We had Comptroller-elect Brooke Learman here today, but we also have one of my predecessors, who was the mayor when this project started, Mayor Stephanie Rawlins-Blake. Ma'am, thank you for being here. As always, the mayor had to throw it, but the good receiving mayor had to catch it and get it into the end zone, so thank you very much. And all of our community partners involved, especially all of those in the SB7 coalition that I know mean so much to the process. I also want to take time to recognize our business leaders like Kevin for their efforts in Baltimore, but in particular, coming off of last week in the Squeegee Collaborative. Kevin and Jen Smith, who were instrumental in getting the plan together and helping us do something for Baltimore that had never been done before. And of course, Mark Brody from MAG Partners. But to circle back to this development, I can't express enough my appreciation for my good friend Kevin. As the founder of Under Armour and CEO of Sagamore Ventures, Kevin has been a driving force of what is known as the Baltimore Peninsula Project, but also about how to be bullish and big and bet on Baltimore. Kevin, I know I've told you this before, but Under Armour's new headquarters could have literally been anywhere in the world because of the brand's international appeal to athletes and sports enthusiasts worldwide. But I appreciate the commitment to have it right here in Baltimore City, something that we all should applaud. Now, anyone who really knows me, especially my staff who says I buy too much of it, knows my deep appreciation for Under Armour. That really goes back to my time at Mervo when we got that first Under Armour shirt that was dedicated and donated to us, and has now morphed in my many, many, many hours spent in the Under Armour brand house store in Harbor East, much to the chagrin, as Kevin knows, to the young people who work there who say I buy too much and make them work too hard. But I, as a mayor, I am so proud to know that this brand is here in Baltimore and is Baltimore through and through. So Kevin, I want to thank you for not just believing in Baltimore, but investing in Baltimore with your words, with your money, and most importantly, with your time. From supporting Baltimore Rec and Parks to investing in our courts and play spaces, the renaissance taking place in Baltimore is in part due to the support that you guys give us each and every day, so thank you very much. But as you all know, this project has been a tremendous undertaking and also a deep, deep labor of love, especially for those of us elected officials who were around for the hours on hours and hours and hours and hours of city council hearings. We are now here today because when we all come together and believe and bet on Baltimore and invest in Baltimore, we can accomplish anything. I am so proud and appreciate all the folks that have came together for this project, all the choices that MAG Partners has made to live up to the Community Benefits Agreement. I also appreciate the decisions of chambers to stay here in Baltimore, like CFG Bank, for making the choice to move here to Baltimore. But I am especially, let's give CFG a big round of applause. I'm especially proud of all our minority partners and contractors who work so diligently to contribute to this project, some of which even have ties to this neighborhood, which makes this development even more special. A lot of times when we do redevelopment, it leads people to think that the area is being geared to attract a certain type of people. But I want to emphasize that we are not trading this group for another group. We are simply enhancing the charm, the character, the overall identity of South Baltimore by creating extending services, resources, entertainment, and so much more for our residents. We want affordable housing all over Baltimore, but I'm happy to know that 20% of the new residential units here will be affordable in the Baltimore Peninsula, with 35 affordable units at 250 Mission for households earning 80% of the area median income, and 54 affordable units at Rye House for households earning 50% of AMI. In essence, we want to make this area just as vibrant as Fells Point, as Locust Point, as Canton, as downtown, or anywhere else. With each unveiling, every ribbon cutting and grand opening and rebranding, we are showing the residents of South Baltimore that we care about them by creating an environment for them to thrive. And it's because of the people in this room tonight that Baltimore's best days are ahead of us. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart, and let's make sure that Baltimore Peninsula becomes a guiding and deep, bright light for all of Baltimore. Thank you very much. And with that, I will now turn the mic over to a fellow son of Baltimore and my partner in government, City Council President Nick Mobley. Mr. President.
When I say Baltimore, you say Peninsula. Baltimore. Peninsula. Baltimore. Peninsula. Baltimore. Peninsula. Now hush went across the crowd. Shh. Come on. Shh. Now just think about this, guys. 46 billion cars, Mike, travel on 95 South and 95 North every single year. And with those 46 million cars and the young bustling potential inside the cars, or the eager seasoned folks inside the cars, or the folks who only know Baltimore from what Hollywood puts in Baltimore, you know what they're gonna see in Baltimore? They're gonna see Baltimore Peninsula. They're gonna see an area where folks live, where folks work, where folks empower small businesses, where folks and our young folks get to play Friday Night Lights, Kevin, right on the water on this amazing field. That's exactly what folks are going to see. So when I say Baltimore, you say Peninsula, Baltimore. Peninsula. Yes, because that's why we're all here today. This is about a collective opportunity from Marianne, from Victor, from Kevin, from all the development partners who say we understand and know the importance of Baltimore today, but more importantly, we understand and know Baltimore's potential and its future. That's why each and every one of us are gathered here tonight. This is a special night because this is the first milestone of many milestones of waking up not only Baltimore, but the rest of the country to what Baltimore is, and that's Baltimore's peninsula. So I would like to thank the vision of Kevin Plank. Give it up for Kevin. I would like to thank the commitment of Marianne and Victor. Give it up for Marianne and Victor. But more importantly, guys, I would like to thank the residents of SB7, because each and every one of them who are in here, Mayor Middleton, each and every one of them who are in here and who are not, you know what, folks, deserve developments like this. This is the city of Baltimore getting it right. This is us ensuring that we're betting on our future in the right way. This is ensuring that we have return of investment on who? Our young folks. Thank you to your leadership, Mayor Scott, and again, thank you to each and every one of you. Now I'm going to turn it back over to Mary Ann.
It's a perfect way for us to acknowledge the work day in and day out of the SB7 communities and their leader, board chair, Mr. Mike Middleton.
Hey, good evening, family. When I say Baltimore, you say Peninsula. Baltimore. Baltimore. Baltimore, Baltimore. You got it. Look, I want to start off just thanking Marianne and Victor. It's just great to be here with everyone this afternoon or this evening on this very special occasion. Let me start as well by thanking Kevin Plank for his investments and belief in the city I love, Baltimore, and your partnership with the South Baltimore communities over the years. Thank you, Kevin. I've had the privilege of working with Marianne, Victor, and their team since they joined the project in May. And their dedication to having real and sustained impact here is commendable. I am proud to say that the whole team is fulfilling the commitments that were laid out and building upon them in ways that we are just beginning to see. The ability for these 7 communities, our 7 communities, to benefit from fully committed, ongoing, long-term funding is a type of change we need to see more of here in Baltimore and across the country. As I've oftentimes said, if you want the best in us, invest in us. And that's exactly what Kevin, Goldman Sachs, Mary Ann, Victor, and the Peninsula team have done since day one. In July, I was excited to partner with the team on the announcement of $2.5 billion in grants and capacity building funds to our 6 communities and various local organizations. This was just the latest example of investing money into helping community partners who are providing impactful services in South Baltimore. That investment, which is part of the Community Benefits Agreement, helped bring the total dollars put into the SB7 communities to $21 million. Now, I don't know where else this kind of investment from a development team is happening, but I'm sure glad we get to see it here in South Baltimore. I'm also excited about this new chapter. This is just the tip of the iceberg for the Baltimore Peninsula, South Baltimore, and the city as a whole. The progress we are seeing and this latest milestone gets us one step closer to reaching our goals and realizing a brighter future for our communities. I also have to say, I like the new name too. In closing, I'm happy to call Kevin Plank and the development team true partners in the work to uplift our communities and look forward to seeing so much more positive impact in our neighborhoods. Now, please join me in welcoming Nate Allen, a recipient of a college-bound scholarship. Just one of the programs that benefits from the commitments this development team made to provide to this community. Thank you. Nate, thank you.
At this time, we have the pleasure of welcoming Senator Cardin to the podium. Senator?
Wow, what an exciting moment. Baltimore Peninsula, I love it. Mr. Mayor, it's good to be with you. Let me make this clear. This is Team Maryland. We are very proud of what is being done here to energize Baltimore, to create housing, a neighborhood, business, energy, excitement. I want you to know I was with the athletic director of Notre Dame, who was recorded this weekend. They love Baltimore. I said, come back, you're going to see a lot of changes that are happening in our city under the tremendous leadership. So I want to thank Team Maryland, my colleagues, Congressman Mfume, Congressman Rubersberger, Senator Van Hollen. We're all in. I want you to know that, Mr. Mayor. I want everyone to know we're all in as partners. And I want to thank Kevin Plank, Under Armour, the Weller Development, MAG Partners, McFarland Partners, Sagamore Venture, Goldman Sachs Urban Investment Group. It takes all that to make it happen. Baltimore has a proud history, a proud maritime, a proud manufacturing history. We moved the products of America for its economy in our maritime. We manufactured the steel that built America and defended America. And now we are transitioning for Baltimore's future. Proud history, bright future because of what's happening like Baltimore Peninsula. So it might be a little wet outside, I might be a little wet, might have been difficult to get back from Washington. Of course, we're smiling today in Washington. Good things are happening. Good things are happening in Baltimore. Congratulations, I'm proud to be part of your team.
Hey everyone. Hey everyone. All right, now let me get your attention for a second. Good evening, everyone. I'm really grateful to have been invited to share a little bit about College Bound, an organization that's been supported as a part of the financial commitments that Port Covington has made to our communities. Today, you will hear me mention a lot about bridges, which both has a literal meaning and a metaphorical meaning. To start, I grew up in the Brooklyn area, directly across the other side of the bridge of Port Covington. I went to school right across there as well, right there at Benjamin Franklin High School. I was a very proactive student. I was heavily involved in athletics as well as extracurricular, but most importantly, I prioritized my academics. As most would say, I put the work in. Despite being top 10% of my graduating class, when the reality of college had arrived, the financial hurdles were discouraging. I got accepted into every school I applied for, and after many visits with coaches and overnight stays, McDaniel College simply felt like home to me. It in fact was my dream school, and even with a ton of scholarships and support from family, the numbers just did not work. This is why I'm very thankful to be a recipient of many College Bound scholarships. Through College Bound, I was able to bridge the financial gap that would allow me to make my dream school become a reality. I later discovered that Kevin Plank and many others other commitments that this project has for Baltimore made this possible, making it a full-time moment for me as well. Through College Bound and the financial contribution, but also the mentorship that were integrated into the program, laid the foundation for my road towards success. It simply made everything possible. Throughout my time at McDaniel College, I double majored in accounting economics and business administration, while also being a student athlete. I graduated with 150 credits, taking an extra class every semester. I also chartered the Phi Order chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated at my school. This allows me to be a mentor, which is a huge passion of mine. More importantly, I completed my first internship with Baltimore Gas and Electric, which is a catalyst for my job offer at PricewaterhouseCoopers. PwC was a dream job. Now I know being a tax accountant is not an ordinary dream, but for me, it gave me the financial literacy and stability that I needed to be able to support my child for schooling someday and others who have goals that seem bigger than themselves, similar to me. Due to much of the grooming and mentorship of College Bound, I was able to advocate for myself, leverage my networking skills, and before the start of my senior year, I had a full-time job offer from PwC. All this to say, thank you, College Bound, for your support. The support of the College Bound and all the other programs the Baltimore Peninsula will provide to this community can't be overstated. They matter, they make a difference. I'm living proof right here. Thanks for helping me close the bridge of making my dreams become a reality. I now want to introduce founder of Under Armour, Kevin Plain, to speak. Thank you for the opportunity to share a little bit about myself.
Nate, that was terrific. All right, now listen. Excuse me, hello, in the back, we hear you. We see you. We can definitely hear you back there. There is Sagamore Rye flowing through this party right now. There's no mistaking why it's a little noisy. But we got time for a little acknowledgement. Let me start with Nate. You make us all so proud. The Sons of Baltimore, we've heard, thank you, congratulations. And not unlike we say at Under Armour, the best gift that we can give back to this city is the ability to keep growing. You grow, you go do your thing, you go earn it. We believe in that. All right, I'm gonna make sure, let's get some shushes going on. They're in that hour though, where they have their second glass of wine, their second whiskey, they're not listening to anybody. There's so many great partners that are in the room, and we've got time for some acknowledgement, so please bear with me. And if we have questions about keeping the bar open, the people that run Sagamore Rye are standing right over here. And for me, the moment that this represents, my attorney who incorporated Under Armour, Tom Sipple, the friends, partnerships that I have around the room, our elected officials, Senator Cardin, thank you so much. Mayor Scott, goes without saying the partnership that we have. Mr. President, it means everything to us to have the leadership that we do in the city and the support. But I want to start and I want to highlight a couple things. Nate being up here, it represents something for us like the College Bound program. And I met the leadership that was here earlier as well. It's something that on behalf of It Takes Two, me and my partner, my wife DJ, who's here with me as well, honey. Thank you very much. It's helped us put over 50 high school students pay for that gap that Nate talked about between what you can get in athletic scholarship and what you need, or academic scholarship and what you need to actually go to school. It's something that helps us as we look around to see that there's also another 100 Baltimore City youth that have gone to K through 8 or Catholic high school through our Partners in Excellence program as well. And when Under Armour chose to make Baltimore our home more than 2 decades ago, there wasn't a negotiation with the city. There wasn't a moment when we said quid pro quo. There was a moment we said, let's just stand up and be counted. And I'd like to acknowledge my Under Armour partners that are here. From John Stanton, Massimo Barato, Trinavia Rocker, Lisa Collier, and I'd also like to give a moment to my partner and our interim CEO, Mr. Colin Brown, who's done an amazing job building this company strong. Thank you to all my teammates from Under Armour. Give him a nod, give him a nod. Geneva, give him a wave. At least I know you're over there. Give him a wave. The work that we're doing here in Baltimore, delivering our commitments in the way that I want to give acknowledgement again to my two partners, Mary Ann Gilmartin, Victor, partnered with the Urban Investment Group from Goldman Sachs, and Mike Lohr, I believe, is here as well, and so many others in partnership to build this as well. I see Gene Brownhill over here, another entrepreneur with Harvard MBA Smarts, who's bringing that down to ensure inclusivity is a part of this project as well. But when I talk about bringing Mary Ann and what that moment was like to attract our mutual friend, Jody Clark, who introduced us. And it's like anything, when you meet A-types, all they want to do is introduce you to more A-types. And I'm so thrilled that Jody introduced me to Mary Ann, who then brought Victor on. And bringing this powerful partnership that you'll see we expect to be a national model for how public-private partnership is meant to happen and to come through. Thank you. To the thousands of partners that we have that are here that represent the hard work we do every day, the buildings getting built, the partners on the ground, the boots on the ground, our partners from Clark, our good friends that we have. I know that we have all of them represented here as well, but we have some of the best builders that are on this project. I also just want to take 1 second to highlight something that is in all the news these days. Nate's story is one example, but to think what happens when we invest in our people, when we invest in our youth. And I just want to bring up one mention to talk about our mayor of our great city. Beginning back in May, ahead of Preakness weekend, it was a conversation with leadership of this city that decided to build something called a man-to-man conversation at the Reginald Lewis Museum. Sagamore Ventures, our team there, partnered with our new governor-elect, that's ascending Under Armour board member and governor-elect, Mr. Wes Moore. Mr. Wes Moore, in involvement with the mayor to talk about creating new opportunities and a new path forward for one of the issues we deal with in our city, which is our squeegee kids. And how do we embrace them and how do we listen? And after 16 weeks, partnership at a level that included Joe Jones of the Center of Urban Families, Deputy Mayor Faith Leach, John Brothers from the T. Rowe Price Foundation, Shalonda Stokes from the Downtown Partnership, and she gives to this city. And my partner at Under Armour as well, my partner in what we do at Sagamore Ventures, Ms. Jen Smith. And the amount of hours that goes into putting and bringing this collective with those recommendations is something which began with listening and that you will hear more and more from. Can I please have a round of applause for those leaders? I also want to say, I want to give an example, and I want to tell you how we tie this together, how this vision comes together. Because we talk about public-private, we have the public, we have our great elected officials, we have the private as well, and I'm so proud that Under Armour is able to step up. And the things that you don't know about what we do in our city. We have a program called Project Rampart. I want to tell you about this because this matters. I'm going to start with the words, sports can change the world. If you're talking about sports in the back, listen to this one. Sports can change the world. And for the past 6 years, every high school athlete of the 37 public high schools we have in this city, every varsity team athlete has received brand new Under Armour uniforms, as well as to their coaches, support staff, and everyone else. And let me make that real. If you play a varsity sport in Baltimore City, you have a brand new uniform. The things that compel you to play are locking down and creating that access to sport. But let me give you a statistic that actually reads on our billboards on 95, as our council president told you, that 46 million cars a year read, and it says that in Baltimore City, our graduation rate from high school is 62.9%. That's somewhere between embarrassing and criminal. Now let me bring this home. I just said Under Armour outfits every varsity city sport. For students who are student athletes who play a varsity sport, the graduation rate increases, get ready for this, to 98.5%. You can take that stat to the bank, and that's why I can confidently tell you that sports can change the world. Because we know there's more than 30,000 student athletes that have benefited from that partnership. And we are so proud of what that means and the teams that we've had together to create that. We've also, at Under Armour, built more than 65 renovated fields, courts, facilities that we've had across this city, creating more access to boys and girls clubs, living classrooms. James, our good partner over here. And it's great to see so many of our neighbors in South Baltimore tonight. It's an honor to work with those, the Mr. Mike Middletons of the world. Mr. Mike, Mayor Mike, thank you so much, sir. And also what's coming for the balance of our SB7. And get ready, you like numbers, you like statistics? Because as a part of this development, it's just the first step in a $135 million community benefits agreement. And yeah, you can know there's people that are standing up behind that and saying we will deliver and we will make sure that that makes an impact on this city. These building blocks are just foundation. But on the way in, you may have seen some of the progress that we have on our new Under Armour campus that's coming here as well. We're proud of providing a home for our team. Hey y'all, let me get you quiet down a little. Hold on, it's Baltimore, come on. That Sagamore is flowing well. So let me tell you this. I want you to know how we feel about our brand. You have questions about our company, we have leadership in place. We have confidence from our team. We have swagger that we're ready to run. These words are meant to be nothing more than just telling you, I hope you look in our eyes, I hope you look in our team's eyes and see that we know what's to come. We will make you proud. And as we say at Under Armour, there's three things that we have a lens that we like to run things through as we make our decisions. Number one, does this decision inspire our extraordinary teammates? Number two, does it provide confidence in our stakeholders? And number three, does it instill fear in our competition? Oh yeah, that's right. We walk with a purpose and we got a little edge to us. I could go on, but we've heard enough and we're going to get back to it. But one thing I do want to mention before I get off stage is that as you walk out of here, we've got swag bags for everybody. You can go home with a little taste, little piece of Baltimore. And you see some of our great local vendors that are represented around this incredible facility tonight. But we also have some of our partners' goods of former Under Armour teammates like Will Phillips of Sandtown Millworks, who uses materials from deconstructed Under Armour row homes and actually puts them back to use. And as you head home tonight, maybe stop by Mission Barbecue, where another Under Armour early participant left our company and went on to start something called Mission Barbecue, which now has 121 locations, supporting 6,000 employees, raising $25 million a year for fire, police, military charities. That's the kind of impact that this happens when we build and bring the tax base. We are totally committed to making that happen. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor and a privilege to be here. It has been a long, long process. It is certainly not smooth. It is certainly not easy. One thing we know is that trees do not grow to the sky, but we have so many great partners, the Robbie Mosers, the builders, the partners that we have that come and make this happen each and every day. I want to thank, on behalf of all of our team at Under Armour, all of our team at Sagamore Ventures, the Long Hours, the Jody Clarks, the Rob Boydecks, the Kelly Daytons that we have, thanks to each and every single one of you. We are so appreciative, we are humbled. We are truly just servant leaders, and that is what we hope to do. We want to build a better Baltimore. We hope to do it our way, and we can't wait to do it with the people in this room. So give our belief, hopefully give us a chance, and if you want to know, we are accepting leases right around the corner, so please come and sign up. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very, very much.